You're all here. This is the first annual, and wow, are they doing an exceptional job or what? Big hand for Brianna and Kevin. I mean, we've seen Chicago shows, LA shows, New York shows, Palm Springs, but this show, for a first one out of the gate, certainly lines up with the rest of them, and I couldn't be more excited to introduce some exceptional designers that I've had the honor to work with. First up, Emily Esposito of Esposito Designs, and boy, is she exceptional. Let's talk about some, don't be shy folks, we're going to show your work, we're going to show your awards. I want to hear it all, and this is to let you know, if you're in the Reno Tahoe area region, you are in exceptional hands with these award-winning designers. And let's introduce first Emily Esposito. Here she is.
Hi, I'm Emily Esposito Interiors. I've owned my company for 4 years now. I do have about 15 awards, international, regional, local stuff, and a lot of publications. I do hospitality, commercial, residential, kind of everything, plus I'm a furniture designer.
Hi, my name's Klein, and a veteran in the profession for 23 years, creating artistic furniture, furniture sculpture, commercial installations in the Reno Tahoe area, and actually beyond. We work very tightly with the design element of construction and commercial installations. Primarily started in the medium of wood, and now it's steel and wood, and a lot of collaborations with other world-class artists. So it's kind of like living the dream with you folks.
KleinOriginals.com, write that down. And
KleinOriginals.com.
you're going to see a lot at the Pollock booth also, if you have not been lucky enough to walk in there yet. The match is exceptional. And that's really what this panel is about. We're talking about merging art with design. And next up, one of the greatest of all time, Tally Jane Interiors, Natalie Schustel, major homes all throughout the region here. We've worked on a number of projects together, and I'm so excited to have you. Natalie Schustel.
Hi, thanks, Scott. I'm Natalie Schustel. I go by Tally Jane. It's Natalie without the NA, and Jane is my middle name. I'm a principal and owner of Tally Jane Interiors. We're an award-winning interior design firm that's located on Kingsbury Grade in State Line, Nevada. We service areas all around the lake, including Reno and Carson City, all the way up to Truckee. We are very proud recipients to be the 7-time winner from House.com for customer service. We've won Best Remodel of the Year from Tahoe Quarterly Magazine and Best Booth Experience at the South Lake Tahoe Business Expo. We also were mentioned as one of the top designers in Mountain Living Magazine.
And Architectural Digest. You just go right down the list with this panel. It's just, it's mine. You're lucky to be here, I'm telling you. Even just to get a chance to talk with them, they're working on such large estates, large and small. We're going to get into that, but not so small. The Anna Shea designer of my heart, I love you so much. Major properties like the Hara property up here in Lake Tahoe, 27,000 square foot property, $14 million interior renovation. That's just one. A lot of work throughout the country. Anna Shea from Anna Shea Designs.
Well, Solana Design.
Solana, well, yes.
Yep,
That's the .com. Solana Designs.
So I'm Anna Shea. My company name is Solana Design and Development, and I started my career, I've been a designer for 30 years, this is my 30th year. I started when I was 4. No, I'm kidding. I worked for someone for about 5 minutes, and then I was on my own. So I started down in the LA area and had a long career there, and came up to work on Bill Harris' property at the lakefront, and that was Scott just told you a little bit about that. I've come to Tahoe really to focus on more of the interiors. Although my practice has offered services to clients such as owner representation, where they go and do what they do, whether it be earn the money and just have a team that oversees all the construction, the design, the hiring of architects, the hiring of engineers, the hiring of construction, and then, but most often and primarily what I focus on is the vision. the vision of the design. It doesn't matter if it's the landscape, whether it's the dishes, whether it's the bedding, whether it's the art curation. We do pretty much a full turnkey in terms of design management.
Wonderful.
The house really hadn't been touched since 1964. So that whole wall that faces the lake, we had to get that re-engineered. We redesigned it. We had an architect who was pretty much just what we call a facilitating architect. We do the design, we do the drawings, and then they stamp it, get it through, handle the expediting. But that particular hood, if you will, was made in Canada by a company who I love, Custom Fireplace and Design. The principal is Volpe. And it was kind of a challenge permitting wise, but it's a freestanding fireplace, it's gas, and there's some cool art in the back there too.
On questions as far as when somebody comes to you, I mean, they may just be blank, like I'm completely clueless. I've seen people build up your properties. Oh, well now, sorry, Emily, we're on to Tally Jane's interior slide. So,
Mine was the first
it's going to be the running joke here. So we jump over now to Natalie and Tally Jane Interiors. Now, this is right, the perfect question for you when you're choosing an artist, and this was a project you and I worked on together, and we like the idea of the headboard, and the clients came to you with a now we're at Emily's now. We came to you clients came to you with an idea that they liked a certain size of my work, but then they thought, is there any way we could go larger? How did you pull this together and help them make the decision?
So for their bedroom, which was the shot we saw previously, we did 2 of your pieces. They were both watercolors. And we did that because there was a support beam, that was right above the bed centered, but it actually worked out. We made it be part of the overall image and had flanked it on either the right or the left side with your pieces so that it became one big focal point.
And really look at the surfaces of these designers. I mean, look at that bar lit underneath your design there. They designed this. Ryan Schustel is right here. You designed that the chandelier, didn't you? Yeah, there he is. Okay, there on this extraordinary. But the surfaces are so exquisite. So again, you may kind of get thinking that well, wait, we don't need a piece of art. This is so good. I mean, just the windows, the beams, but one good piece will certainly anchor the room. Emily, look at this bar. I love this house here. Yeah, this is just on the backside of Tahoe. So. Again, same thing. The question was you're working with the architects, you're working with and I see your projects go from ground up. Yeah. It's fun to watch them, and I love to see you watch them. How are you sort of steering people as they go? I'm sure you're running into, changes of mind, their ideas, and so forth. Let's hear how you work with them.
Well, I start from, usually ground up. A lot of my projects are new construction, so I'm working with the architects side by side, the builders side by side, every single subcontractor I work with, including artists in the end. Furniture design, all that type of stuff. So when it comes to clients and it comes to art, it's the same thing. It's kind of like Tally saying that it's very personalized. You have to be able to find a piece that resonates with them. One of the first picture that was mine, the clients we had, that piece of art was 12 feet high by 4 feet wide, and it's all made of gold. The clients actually found that artist in San Francisco, and so I worked with them and the artist to scale it to the right size on that fireplace to fit. This couple actually had a lot of art pieces that they had been collecting throughout the years, and so we integrated each of those, and throughout the house I walked the house with them and made sure that their pieces that they had existing, we found the right places for them. And then we're going to be also looking for some more art too down the road. Like this one in particular, I fully customed the fireplace, so there's 4 fireplaces in the house. That was fun for me. I designed every single fireplace, every single detail in this house I designed from the ground up. So a lot of these projects are years with the work. I'm from LA originally, it's Los Angeles area, so I know a lot of my influences are a little bit more modern, a little more sleek, a little more textural. I love patterns, I love color. I don't do, I kind of shy away from doing just kind of monotone. I'd like to be able to do pops of color anywhere possible.
Whatever your size property, and just think, okay, That's what I'm working with, but or maybe it was like one of Telly Jean's properties where it was 1990s and it's unbelievable, the transformation. But hey, let's get to some spectacular furniture design. And Andy Klein, here he is. You can see some exceptional pieces at the Pollock gallery over here toward the front. So please don't miss out on these. Andy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really on fire from the points that each of these phenomenal designers have spoken, because the vast sea of individuals that I team up with for design these days are at this caliber, but it wasn't always that way. There's a lot out there that's not listening these pearls of wisdom and choice and embrace color. And yes, neutrals are great for matching things. However, when you really want a true value, a vision that's valuable, then you've got a team leader or leaders that create a one-of-a-kind for that client. And that's really sets the stage for individuals like me that are a paintbrush on their belt. And I have this interesting little room in one of my shops where we have some samples, and I meet with interior designers and their clients. And as they walk in the door, I can see the Willy Wonka look. And then we get into specific details. And with a vast portfolio of over 2,500 pieces that are all unique for different individuals, as well as what exists online that was sold through galleries, my viewpoint is that each individual and each couple has their own idiom. They have their own comfort zone. They have what they're trying to make, and we become a voice for what they really want. Especially with commercial applications of design, that considering the user experience, you break that down to people and they're like, oh, I get it. It's what happens when I see this, and I sit on this. That's what I'm enjoying. It's not just what the picture looks like, per se. It's what the user feels and gets to enjoy. So I think that might have been my most long-winded
No, that's all right.
scenario I've ever done in my whole entire life. But
Bravo.
I felt like it was descriptive, so that's
Very
why I
good,
picked it.
very good. Well, we're looking at a lot of properties here. Here's one Ann and I worked on together, and that was always the perfect mix with water. As you go past this, it's this art with the water, the feeling. When I first, well, if you don't mind me jumping in here, I was introduced to Anna, and oh boy, if you come to my gallery, that beautiful piece of marble, she saved a piece and made a bar for me at the gallery. So come over and have a tequila on that gorgeous piece of stone. Anyway, when we worked together, it was, as Natalie and I have as well, and Ryan, I brought in, I have a lot of large-scale work. This is a large property, but large-scale work also works in small properties, small walls, raise the ceilings, etc. We all know those benefits. We brought in the pieces, lined them up, and Anna, I didn't even walk the house. And you were sitting in the center of that beautiful table, if you saw that heading out to the lake. And it was so sad, and you just sat there, and we just brought in painting, lined them up like soldiers, and went, that room, and it just was the magic of the intention of me and the energy I got, like you were saying, Andy, from Tahoe, and moving here and getting all that, and I'm an intuitive artist, as the pine trees here, but it's somehow these colors tend to hit perfectly with everything she had done. And we ran 7 of them around the house, or 11 or something like that.
I think also, I love your work, but I also know my client. My client I knew, I've been to so many shows like this, and long career, but you pick up a vibe from your client's art. Their art attraction. And so And I don't know if we're going to get to that question.
No, go, yeah, let's start it out. I was just going to ask you. Anna, how
Well, I
do you
figure-
work with a client? Okay, no, go ahead.
A lot of times people want
Place
to
them in.
accumulate an art collection.
Yes.
Right? And so, but they don't really know where. Well, they don't, or that might be one partner's getting dragged around by their wife, and they're just like, okay, where's the beer? You know, where can I get my Bloody Mary? So I think one of the things that I have found with my practice is encouraging my clients to share with me some of their family history. Right now I'm working with a client, she's Iranian, he's Canadian. So really digging into where they played as a kid, what their occupational histories were from their lineage. You know, he worked, his grandfather worked on the railroad. Hers was more upper echelon Iranian aristocracy. And so putting all these together, I find a palette. I find an energy, I find an acceptance of abstract versus very realistic art.
Art is not something that's an afterthought. Art should be incorporated into design first and foremost. But one of the things that Anna was talking about is also something that we do, and I think it's one of the most important interactions that we have with the client. It's what we call a discovery session, and it's sort of a glorified consultation where we meet with our clients for 1 to 2 hours and really understand them, their vision, their goals, obviously color palettes, things they like, things they don't like, design challenges. And from that discovery session, we really strive to understand them and their lifestyle and how they want their home to work around them. And to me, it's just about making sure that we have the perfect environment for their loves and their passions and their family.
This happened, of course, I have nothing to say except where do you want it, and then I get help here. But these guys, I mean, it's such a blessing. And they're so approachable and so open and wonderful. Natalie's got a wonderful showroom you just opened up on Kingsbury. Tell us a little bit about that and how you came up with the idea to work the offices and incorporate services and meet with clients.
We have a great new space on Kingsbury Grade, 255 Kingsbury Grade, Suite C in State Line, Nevada. We welcome all of our clients to come to the showroom. We do a lot of presentations there. Obviously, a lot of our samples and materials are there. It's been great for us as we expand our business.
And I hear you've got some art in there too.
We do. Some of Scott's pieces grace the walls of our new office space.
Yeah, it works well. All right. Emily, I cannot wait to walk into your property. I'm so envious every time I see it go from the ground up. Like, I mean, can we talk about cost a little bit and the differences, especially wood, wood and all that stuff, and the changes in just the last 2 years? What's happened? I mean, to keep your business alive, flourishing as it is.
Yeah, I mean, we have some clients that have gone on hold because of supply chain issues, because of building cost issues. I mean, just within the last few weeks, I have a new, very, very modern house that's going up in Schaefer's Mill, and we have had, probably over the last 2 months especially, crazy conversations about hemlock and cedar and the crazy differences, and now all of a sudden they're like starting to shrink the differences, and now it's not as bad, and it's just, then it's working around the lead times as well. We've had windows, I mean, some windows are out 50 weeks. I mean, you kind of sit there and scratch your head, and you feel kind of bad for the contractors, because now all of a sudden the things that they're doing, this isn't what they were doing a few years ago. They were just like, okay, I know exactly what my typical lead times are, I got everything scheduled and ordered. Now all of a sudden we're in a whole new arena where all of us are trying to juggle and keep the client going, keep them positive through the whole process, and just knowing that as a team we're going to get it done.
A whole new arena. You are absolutely right. Thank you for bringing it, Kevin.